Hi guys, welcome to today's session. And today we are going to discuss about Major Ports Authorities Bill 2020. And in this session, we will see firstly the background of the topic and the major features of this particular bill called Major Ports Authorities Bill 2020. And finally, we will see the significance of the bill. So that's how I plan this lesson. So let's start. As we all know, India is strategically located on the world's shipping routes. We have a coastline of approximately 7,500 kilometer and around 14,500 kilometer of potentially navigable waterways. And maritime transport handles around 70% of India's trading in value terms. And India has 204 ports, out of which 12 are major ones and handle 55% of cargo traffic. So that is a huge part, and major ports together had handled around 699 million tons of cargo during 2018 and 2019. So that is the importance of major ports in India. And Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust is the largest major port in India, which is a known fact. And about non-major ports, which are largely given to private parties on concession for periods ranging up to 30 years, while ownership remains with the concerned provincial government. So that is how the system works. And this particular bill, the Major Ports Authorities Bill 2020, replace Major Ports Trust Act 1963, and it seeks to provide for regulation, operation and planning of major ports in India. It was the administration, control and management of such ports upon the Major Ports Authorities Board. We'll see this in detail. Coming to the features of this particular bill. As we said, the Major Port Authorities Board will be created, and these boards will replace the existing Port Trust. And powers of the boards of Port Authority have been delegated full powers to enter into contracts, planning and development, and fixing of tariff, except in national interest, security, and emergency arising out of inaction and default. And the bill says about public-private partnership projects. This defines PPP projects as projects taken up through a concession contract by the board, and for such projects the board may fix the tariff for initial bidding purposes. And it adopts a landlord model also. It will reorient the governance model in central ports to landlord model, whereby port infrastructure is leased to private operators. Basically, in landlord port model, ownership of the port remains with the port authority. Infrastructure is leased to private firms that provide and maintain their own superstructure and install their own equipment to handle cargo. And in return, landlord port gets a share of revenue from the private entity. That's how it works. And about fixing of rates under the bill, the board or committees appointed by the board will determine the rates, and it will determine the rates for services that will be performed at ports, the access to and usage of port assets, and different classes of goods and vessels, among others. So such fixing of rates will not be with retrospective effect. Currently, the Tariff Authority of Major Ports, established under 1963 Act, fixes the scale of rates for assets and services available at ports. So this has been transferred, and the role of TAMP has been redefined in the bill. And the Port Authority has now been given powers to fix tariff, which will act as a reference tariff for purposes of bidding for PPP projects. And PPP operators will be free to fix tariff based on market conditions. And there will be a constitution of adjudicatory board by the central government. This board will replace the existing tariff authority for major ports, TAMP, constituted under 1963 Act. So that are the major features of the this particular bill, and we'll now see the significance of this bill. The issues with India's ports is that it is lagging so far behind their Asian competitors, and the reasons are lack of infrastructure, poor connectivity, underinvestment, competition from private sector, and all. So these all issues are going to be addressed by this new bill. That it will bring world-class infrastructure. The bill will help the ports develop world-class infrastructure. It can make India's major ports compete with major world-class ports, and it will attract private investment, and also there will be a decentralized decision making. The bill aims to decentralizing decision making and infuse professionalism in governance of major ports, and this will empower major ports to perform with greater efficiency on account of full autonomy in decision making, and by modernizing the institutional infrastructure framework of major projects. And a compact board with professional independent members will strengthen decision making and strategic planning, and it also bring transparency by it is expected to help impart faster and transparent decision making, benefiting the stakeholders and better project execution capability. So that are the significance of the Major Ports Authorities Bill 2020. You may please refer to this. It is a possible mains question also, and study this in detail. And that's all for today, guys. We'll meet tomorrow with another topic. Thank you for watching this video.